I've been in this country for almost exactly 6 months. During that time, I've been navigating a life as part of the expat community and life as an Ecuadorian. Obviously, I'm not Ecuadorian born. In fact, I walk through my neighborhood and I stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody recognizes the gringa. I wasn't born here, and my Spanish is very much a work in progress. Yet I live in a neighborhood with relatively few expats, where I need to speak Spanish at most of the local businesses. I also have less money than a lot of expats. This is what comes of being called to ministry. I can't travel much, and I have to limit how often I can go to restaurants with gringo prices. So I try to go to the places where Ecuadorians go. I've been reading about the perspectives of expats in Cuenca. A lot of them warn against the expat bubble. I think it must be very comforting to be in that bubble. No trying to figure out the right verbs or the word for when you need to ask for an onion. No trying to make friends just by smiling a lot and feeling embarrassed. We can make a microcosm of the United States right here in Cuenca and enjoy our North American homes with our North American friends. It's important to feel comfortable and to feel at home. Yet we live in Ecuador. Like the Hebrew people, we live with our feet in two cultures. And like the people in exile in Babylon, we must work for the good of the place where we find ourselves, the place where God has placed us. By exploring a little bit of Ecuadorian culture, by making Ecuadorian friends, and by donating to Ecuadorian causes, we open ourselves to the way the Holy Spirit is working in Ecuador. God has blessed this country with resources, beauty, and wonderful people from indigenous cultures and those descended from Spanish conquerors. The people are interesting and amable. Their faith is important to them. God is here. This is also a country facing unprecedented trouble. There are arguments about how best to care for the Amazon rainforest while making use of the resources it has to offer. There has been an uptick in crime even in peaceful Cuenca. Port cities along the coast have become very dangerous, and the international scourge of illegal drugs has come to destabilize Ecuador. We have come here to be in a safe place, to live in some comfort. But now that we are here, we must not build a cocoon around ourselves. We are part of this country. God has placed us here to love this place, to be a light on the hill and salt of the earth of the Sierra. Think about what this means in your life. Does it mean donating more to the worthy causes this church supports? Does it mean learning how to visit with your neighbors in Spanish? Does it mean supporting the small family-owned businesses whenever possible? Does it mean learning something about the indigenous cultures? I certainly hope it means praying for the well-being of all of Ecuador, not just Cuenca. God's people live in Esmeraldas, Manta, and Guayaquil, as well as Tranquila, Cuenca. God will sustain you on this journey, just as God sustained those people in exile so long ago who had their foot in both cultures, the cultures of Babylon and the cultures of Jerusalem. God will bless you with strength, companions, courage, and a sense of humor. Outside of the expat bubble are people and experiences that can open us to more dimensions of the glory of God. There is a Quaker concept of the light of God. They believe that the light of God is within every person, and so they use consensus in their meetings as a way to honor that light. They also have silent meetings until someone is moved by the light of the Holy Spirit to speak. Look for the light in our Ecuadorian neighbors, in shopkeepers, in taxi drivers, and waiters. And on this election day, a day that will affect us all, even though most of us don't vote here, pray for the leaders, the land, the waters, and the people of Ecuador. And like the people of Babylon, who flourished in that place and were able to return home, let us flourish in this place as God's people, a light on the hill, a blessing on this country.